and people are, you know, in a heated political debate at 8 o'clock in the morning. We can't do it.
Well,
it's unhealthy. There's more to life. That's the other thing about politics, dude. There's more to life. Go camping. Go fall in love. Go do something.
Go read a book. Go love someone.
Yeah.
It really.
Talking about.
How do you expect when jobs are not paying a livable wage? How do you expect when healthcare is damn near unaffordable? How do you expect people to enjoy life when they don't have the money or the time or the opportunity to enjoy it? Like I say, regular folks, they have to work 40, 50 hours a week. Hey, thank you for watching Power to the Pod, where we are committed to an intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. I'm your host, Superior, and thank you for watching. Now, in this video, at first, when I seen this video, and this is Theo Von. Okay, he's a comedian. I seen a couple of his, you know, his bits or whatever. But when I seen this, and as we're watching, you could kind of see why I had the initial thoughts that I did. But then at the end of it, it's like, okay, it's not about X, it's about Z. And this goes to show you the ignorance when it comes to wealth inequality. And when you're asking, you know, middle class people, poor folks, political questions, and they could just be, you know, your regular average person, and they could, you know, they'll give you an honest answer. But then when you ask someone who has a little bit of money, you know, they comfortable, they real comfortable, you know what I'm saying? They got like 2 cars, you know what I'm saying? You'll get a whole different answer. I mean, we living in the same America, but you get a whole different answer. But then when you ask somebody who got some money, you know what I'm saying, who got the money, who got the bag, they're living in a whole different world, a whole different reality. And when I was watching this, and I don't want to bag Mr. Theo as if he's some bad guy or if he hates poor people, but it just goes to show you, like, when you're kind of in your own bubble, your ignorance could show. That's why you need a diverse of people around you. And once again, you know, I don't know Theo like that, so he might have that, but just kind of watching this is like, bruh, what are you talking about? You know, at first I thought it was a white privilege thing, like, you know, because he's talking to another white guy, and it's like, you know, but then as I watch more, it's like, nah, it's a class issue. But without further ado, let's go ahead, watch the video, and let's have that conversation.
He claimed that they were gonna.
I literally only saw it from yours.
They do shit like that. They did it with, like, I just get, you know, listen, man, I don't watch Tucker. I don't care. Sometimes he says something, I'm like, that makes sense. Sometimes he says something, I'm like, that's wrong. I love all these people that are so committed to, like, hating a guy or loving a guy. I'm like, who? Wait, I just watch a guy every now and then. I go, yeah, I don't think so.
How did we get there, though? How did we get where people? Because I notice sometimes I'll notice I'll fall into it if I really let myself.
Yeah.
But then I notice I'm not an activist.
Right.
Like,
people crave. There's a few things about people. They crave drama. They crave fights. It's back to the days of the Roman Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
They like to see combat. Now, there is no real combat right now. So a lot of people are sitting on a couch and they're on a computer. So the combat is all internet, it's all digital.
Mm-hmm.
They love that. I also think that people are just, they want to be slaves. People want to generally be in a group and to have allies and then to have another group that they hate.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. And it's like, I don't know what that is. Somebody might be able to explain that. Behavioral psychologist or somebody. I don't know. People just like having friends that they connect with, and they get these friends by having the same enemies and the same allies. So you can't look at a guy like Tucker Carlson and go, he's a human being, and then he might be wrong about things. You look at him as an enemy of you.
Okay, so one thing I noticed in I mean, he's talking about really basic things like, hey, human beings, it's nothing unfamiliar that people will surround themselves with like-minded people. with people who have the same interest and, you know, X, Y, and Z. So it's not like he's making it seem like he just figured this out and we need the scientists, we need the counselors, we need everybody to go. It's like, no, that's kind of common sense. I mean, if you ever been to, you know, school, like there it is right there. Like that's kind of common. Like I don't understand what he's talking about. But one thing I find interesting that he's talking about Tucker Carlson, okay? Like Carlson with 3 Ks, okay? And it's weird, like, and he's about to like get a little bit deeper with Tucker, but it's weird how he's trying, you know, hey, Tucker said some things and I kind of agree with some of it and some of it I didn't. But the more he talks about Tucker, it's like he has to put a lot of disclaimers and it's like, hint, hint, this is why people may not like Tucker. And he's about to have that revelation. And it's kind of funny to me how he figured this out on his own.
Direct enemy of you. Because he espouses a different political ideology, because you think that he's making life unsafe for people because of what he believes.
Yeah.
And some of that might have some relevance, you know, like I get it. If you're an undocumented immigrant, you know, obviously your opinion of Trump is probably very different than a guy like me who has the luxury of being like, hey, I'm not getting deported, right?
Right.
That doesn't mean every political argument you're ever going to have, there's real life consequences and real people that are going to be affected. That doesn't mean you can't have a political argument about immigration.
Right.
Doesn't mean you can't talk about abortion.
Yeah, some people think that once they're in one lane that they have to stay in that lane for everything.
Yeah, or they think that if they can, you know, school shootings are horrible. I don't want them to happen. I'm for all kinds of gun regulations. But just because real people are affected by something, I mean, the reason we're talking about it is because people are affected.
Right.
The reason it's an issue in general is because people are affected. And if you shut down dialogue, then what are people supposed to do? So these emotional appeals that a lot of people have on the left and the right, where they're just like, but what about the kids? What about that? It's like, yeah, but how did we get here? How did we get to the kids in the cages? It's not having an immigration policy. It's not having any agreed upon policy. That's how we got here. So we need to figure out a way to have a policy that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question would be, what do you think he's rambling about people having these arguments? You know, they're just sucked into politics and all they're doing is arguing. And, you know, you see Tucker Carlson and, you know, while he just has different political ideas. It's like, and then he asked a question, well, you know, we just need to just come and figure out some things. It's like, but you know, there's a group of people who are in power who's choosing not to do something. Like they're actively choosing not to do something. Not that they haven't figured it out, not have, you know, they're not convinced. They know it's the issue, but they're purposely not acting for a solution. They don't want a solution. So why do you think people are mad? You think people are just tripping out for no reason? Come on. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, what kind of bubble are you living in? Like, it should be obvious, right? I'm not just here talking in a microphone looking at you, or I'm looking at a camera, but you looking at me. We're not doing this awkwardness just because. I'm doing this and you're participating because we know it's an issue that people in power, certain people, don't want to do what they're supposed to do. And we got to set that fire under their behind so they can do something. That's why we're upset. We're not just upset because we just don't like Tucker. I mean, his haircut is ugly. But I mean, that's not enough to hate somebody. But if you listen to the words and some of his ideologies that he actually does believe, that would make any sensible person upset. Okay, come on.
Yeah, and there has to be, it's also like we always want everyone else to do everything. It's like the government, all of it is just society. It's just the best we can do right now.
Right.
It's like some people act like everything should be different. Everything should be different. If it was supposed to be different right now, it would be different. This is the best we can do to have one of the best societies in the world.
I wonder.
Okay, so wow. And he's sweating. He's like, hey, I just said a whole bunch of bullshit and that I don't even know what I'm talking about. When Biden did the child tax credit and, you know, he gave everybody that money, child poverty went down. It decreased by a lot. I wish I had the numbers. I'm just now thinking of this. It went down tremendously. In the words of Trump, greatly, okay? You don't think they knew doing a policy like that would assist child poverty? You don't think they knew that? You don't think people have been saying this for years? And what happened when they took that away? You know, which is our tax money, but you know, that's a whole nother conversation. What do you think happened after they took that away? After they ended it? It went back up. It went back up, obviously. So I don't buy this, hey, this is the best America could do, because if America could do something better, I think things would be better. Like, no, they don't want to. Because that money is going to go somewhere, and they don't want it to go to poor folks. They don't want it to go to hardworking individuals. Give them a little bit so they don't, you know, break down the doors of the rich. But give them just enough to where they have to work 50, 60 hours a week. People working 2, 3 jobs. Are you kidding me? This is the best. Like I said, I don't want to judge Theo. He's a funny dude. I see a couple of his clips, but damn, man. Get some friends who know some things. Have some conversations. Don't have a conversation with another guy who's just as, you know, blind as you. The one-eyed person leading the blind. Like, come on now. This just sound ridiculous.
Sometimes my boomer parents would make fun of all the time, but like sometimes my dad was right when he was just like every time somebody bring up politics with my father, he would just be like, I can't get involved.
Yeah. It's really is the best thing.
He goes, I just can't get involved. Like he just like there's a certain level of like, if you're going to get in it, run for something.
Yeah.
Really get in there. But we can't have a society where every fucking human being is a cable news anchor.
Yeah.
We can't. I can't be in line at Starbucks.
Okay. Once again, it feels like I'm nitpicking, and I could be, but this is the bull that I hear on a daily basis. This is like level 1 of uninformed individuals. What do you mean? Like, I understand when he means like, you know, if you want to solve something, get in there. Okay, I get it. But that doesn't mean you have to become a politician. There's history that lays out plenty of people that never became a politician, but they changed the world. So you don't need to be a politician. And with being this 2023, we have technology. Use the hell out of that. Like I'm saying, you watching me and I'm looking at the camera thinking you looking at me, that's doing something. So once again, it's like, bro, what are you talking about? Button up your shirt, just you showing the little chest hairs. Like, come on, man, do better. When you read, you do better.
and people are, you know, in a heated political debate at 8 o'clock in the morning. We can't do it. Well, it's unhealthy. There's more to life. That's the other thing about politics, dude. There's more to life. Go camping. Go fall in love. Go do something.
Go read a book. Go love someone.
Yeah.
And it really
talking about.
Okay. this okay, bro. Okay. It's two parts to this, okay? How do you expect somebody to enjoy life, okay? To go out there, go camping, go painting, go fishing, build model cars, build a real car, How do you expect people to go out and enjoy life? Now, this is that rich folk talks. Be like, hey, just go travel the world. Go to Europe on your days off. Like, how do you expect people, myself, to enjoy life to the fullest when I know, one, I'm going to be working till I'm like 60 years old, okay? Money is being cheapened while things around us is increasing. It seems by the month, okay? How do you expect when jobs are not paying a livable wage? How do you expect when healthcare is damn near unaffordable? How do you expect people to enjoy life when they don't have the money or the time or the opportunity to enjoy it? Like I say, regular folks, they have to work 40, 50 hours a week. There's no, And then they have to save and save and save to have that 1 week that they can do something. They can go on vacation. And guess what? Back to work. And that's maybe because it's statistically proven that most Americans don't have $400-500 in savings just in case something bad happens. So what you mean go camping, go hiking, just live life? That doesn't make any sense. And then he said, once again, hey, he said, go read a book. Bro, if you read history and you actually read some informative books, you'd be even more upset. You'll be more upset. And that's where I'm at. I done read some books and I'm like, hey, hold on, wait a minute. It ain't gonna go down like this. So maybe telling folks to read books is probably a bad idea because they're gonna come out of that book even more upset. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hey, hi, he's a comedian.
It's such an addictive thing. And it's funny, like the biggest addiction in the world right now really is people consuming things that they like the news, really, media that they know is bad for them.
They know is bad.
But they wake up and they go to it again and
They're
again.
like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it anyway. And they know it's bad.
And that is an addiction because they do it to feed something inside of themselves.
Yeah.
They do it because it's easier for you to sit there and be angry. Any of us, and I don't mean someone, but all of us, it's easier for us to sit there and be angry than it is to take action and make our lives better.
100%. 100%.
Okay. He's right. Hey, you gotta, if you don't like the situation that you're in, be active and try to make that change. What do you think people are doing? Like, he's pointing at people like, oh, they're so obsessed and they're just want to argue politics all day and they just want to well, why do you think they're doing that? They're trying to make change. What are you talking about? Come on. Oh my God. This is sometimes it's best to just stay in your lane. You know what? Let's go to the main camera here. Okay. Let's go face to face on this one. Sometimes it's best to stay in your lane. Like he said at the beginning of the video, it was his disclaimer. He's not an activist. Okay, you're not an activist. Maybe you should leave these kind of conversations to the people that dwell in these kind of arenas. Like, you don't see me having comedian conversations on who's what makes a good comedian, because I'm not a comedian. I know I'm making you laugh, like, but that doesn't count. But I can't critique that because that's not my realm. I haven't studied it. I can only name Kevin Hart, and Adam Sandler. Okay, there you go. That's as Eddie Murphy. Okay, got you. But you see what I'm saying? It's almost worth saying this because I'm literally talking in a microphone on YouTube. But sometimes just because you do have the ability to speak on something doesn't mean that you might be you're not the most qualified person to speak on that, which is fine. Like hey, freedom, First Amendment, go ahead, do your thing. But hey, you can say what you want. But if people call you stupid, people call you an idiot, ignorant, whatever word they want to say that I'm not going to say on my channel because this is a family channel, then, hey, it is what it is. So the moral of this story is we need to educate ourselves. Educate ourselves in these situations that is controlling our day-to-day lives. And unfortunately, politics, it does affect your life. And like you said, like sometimes you just got to roll up your sleeves and do something. But once again, if you think I'm wrong, which, hey, I'm not wrong. You're wrong, okay? If you think I'm wrong, meet me in the comments, okay? Meet me in the comments after this video's over, and let's have that conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.